What's up, everybody? I'm Miranda McGill. It's Wednesday, March 19th. This is IPN Live for blogs, blogs, and playa. So go ahead and throw me up on your blog. Thanks for joining me here in Place News. Democratic presidential frontrunner Barack Obama confronted the nation's racial divide head-on yesterday, tackling both black grievance and white resentment in a bold effort to quiet a campaign uproar over race and his former pastor's incendiary statements. His speech highlighted our personal individual feelings on not just race, but economic and social prejudice.
Barack Obama took to the stage Tuesday in Philadelphia and confronted the nation's racial divide head-on.
But race is an issue that I believe this nation cannot afford to ignore right now.
Race surged to the forefront of the Democratic campaign in recent days as video spread of Obama's longtime pastor giving racially charged sermons. Obama strongly rejected Reverend Jeremiah Wright's statements, but said he could not disown the man who has been his spiritual guide for nearly 20 years.
I can no more disown him than I can disown the black community.
Obama, the son of a black man and a white woman, drew on his own background as no other presidential candidate could. He called on both blacks and whites to end the racial stalemate he says the country has been stuck in for years.
The anger is real. It is powerful. And to simply wish it away, to condemn it without understanding its roots, only serves to widen the chasm of misunderstanding that exists between the races.
It was such a comprehensive and indeed masterful presentation of a complex issue.
Political scientist Lorenzo Morris says Obama's speech isn't likely to end the discussion of race in this campaign, but it could make it more productive.
Instead of using race and gender and other things to attack each other, let's deal with them. That's what progress is about. And I think that was a good point on his part. I think it's something that I wouldn't be surprised if the Clintons were pleased to hear as well.
Hillary Clinton, also in Philadelphia Tuesday, told reporters she was glad Obama gave the speech. She called issues of race and gender complicated. Ed Donahue, The Associated Press.
Obama urged the nation to break a racial stalemate that he says we've been stuck in for years, and once again condemned words of his longtime pastor. Obama's church in Chicago reacted to their famous member's speech in Philadelphia.
Did I ever hear him make remarks that could be considered controversial while I sat in the church? Yes.
From the outside, it's hard to believe this small Chicago church has somehow taken over center stage in presidential politics. But its most famous member, Barack Obama, delivered what many consider the most important speech of his political life Tuesday, tackling both race relations in America.
But race is an issue that I believe this nation cannot afford to ignore right now.
And his relationship to the church's controversial former pastor, the Reverend Jeremiah Wright, a man whose inflammatory sermons, repeatedly shown on the internet and TV over the past several days, have caused a national uproar that many felt Obama needed to address.
I can no more disown him than I can disown my white grandmother, a woman who helped raise me, a woman who sacrificed again and again for me, a woman who loves me as much as she loves anything in this world, but a woman who once confessed her fear of black men who passed her by on the street, and who on more than one occasion has uttered racial or ethnic stereotypes that made me cringe.
But regular attendants at United Trinity Church of Christ paint a far different picture of their pastor than the one seen lately.
Reverend Wright is a wonderful person. He has done so much for youth, for the church, for everyone.
Well, the media takes sound bites to make a big thing of it. Reverend Wright's a great preacher. I've gone to this church a number of times.
And although Obama has tried to distance himself from his longtime pastor's words, the church is standing by its former leader.
Well, I think it's hard to say that Reverend Wright has damaged Senator Obama in really any significant way. You have to understand the history that it was Reverend Wright who brought Senator Obama to Jesus Christ.
Obama says he now hopes to put the controversy behind him. He also says he always expected to have to give the race speech, but he didn't anticipate the subject would come up quite this way. John Belmont, The Associated Press.
New York Governor Spitzer is gone. And his prostitute is gone wild, Girls Gone Wild released a video of Ashley Alexander Dupree, the woman at the center of the scandal that led to the former New York Governor Elliot Spitzer's resignation. Oh, I'm getting all tongue-tied. I'm sure she did too. The company says it was shot in Miami in 2003, right after her 18th birthday. Classy lady.
That's Elliot Spitzer's call girl in a 2003 Girls Gone Wild video. Ashley Alexandra Dupree was 18 years old when she celebrated her birthday aboard the Girls Gone Wild tour bus in Miami. According to company founder Joe Francis, some of his employees found this footage after he offered Dupree $1 million to appear in a non-nude spread for his new magazine. He's now rescinded that offer and posted a teaser video on the Girls Gone Wild website. The rest is available with a monthly subscription that costs $29.95. According to a press release from Girls Gone Wild, Dupree signed legal papers and spent a full week on the bus. The company says she filmed 7 full-length tapes, including nudity and same-sex encounters. Dupree's attorney declined to comment. The now 22-year-old's public profile has skyrocketed since Spitzer resigned earlier this week amid the prostitution scandal. In the first 2 days after the scandal broke, Dupree's MySpace page was hit more than 5 million times, and 2 of her songs posted on the internet were listened to hundreds of thousands of times.
Your business offer.
Hustler publisher Larry Flint has offered her $1 million to appear nude in his magazine, but he doubts it will be enough. Mike Gracia, The Associated Press.
Oh, sorry, that's a different site. On the other side of this wild story, brand new New York Governor David Patterson came clean about multiple affairs he and his wife had.
God. So help me God.
Just a day after being sworn in as the governor of New York following a prostitution scandal that took down his predecessor, Elliot Spitzer, David Patterson answered questions about the multiple affairs he and his wife acknowledged they engaged in.
I just thought this was the time to come forward and reveal this.
Patterson and his wife Michelle told the New York Daily News that they both had affairs during a rough patch in their marriage several years ago. He was asked if he could promise he would not have any more affairs.
I promised that the day I got married. That's why I consider it a betrayal of the commitment. I think both of us have a great deal of sensitivity for what we put each other through, and I hope that that will help us to have a better relationship than we had when we first...
Patterson said they sought counseling and have repaired their marriage.
The message that I want to send to my children is that in marriage you're going to have peaks and valleys, but you want to show them how you get through them and how you work through them, that there's no marriage that's perfect.
One of the new governor's affairs was with a state employee.
I did not have a relationship with a staffer. I had a relationship with someone else who was on the public payroll. I didn't supervise them, I didn't manage them, I didn't work in the same agency with them.
Patterson and that woman sometimes stayed at the same Manhattan hotel that Patterson's staff used while on business in the city, but Patterson says no government or campaign money was ever spent on her. Even while talking openly about the affairs, Patterson asked a question on many minds. How much should we know about the private lives of public officials?
It is very hard for me to see how a person should just be thrown out in public because all they were ever guilty of was liking someone else and not realizing one day they'd become governor. I mean, I think that this, we get to a point where we have some real high platitudes that we hold each other to, and I think that's maybe where the problem begins.
Patterson wrapped up by saying that even though he's human and has feelings and faults, as an elected official, there comes a time to tell the public what happened. Matt Friedman, The Associated Press.
For more of me and my wonderful dancing skills, check out iNPLACENEWS.com. Thanks for watching IPN Live for blogs, vlogs, and playa. I'm Miranda McGill. Don't forget that name because you're going to want to start Googling it soon, looking for my sex tape, for my quick and cheap, and I do mean cheap, ticket to fame and fortune. Just kidding, Dad. After all, a true Southern belle would never. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.